Hey, what's up, guys? Let's check out this really awesome game by Alexander Alekhine. In this game, Alekhine had the white pieces, and he started out with the move e4. His opponent played e5, knight f3, knight c6, and bishop b5. So here we have a Roy Lopez, and black played a6, and Alekhine retreated the bishop. So everything normal so far. Black played knight f6, and then here came knight c3. After bishop e7, 0-0, d6, came an interesting moment. Usually white would retreat with something like bishop b3 or maybe rook e1. But here Alekhine decided to exchange this bishop for this knight. Okay, well, black has to take back. And now after the move d4, he is looking to open the center. Pawn takes, knight takes, and here's an interesting moment in the game. The knight now is attacking the pawn on c6. How should black defend? Well, there's a number of different possible moves here. The first one that might jump out at you is something like just pushing the pawn to attacking the knight. That is a pretty logical move, but it allows the knight to just hop into the c6 square, where it attacks the queen, attacks this bishop, and we assume black would save the queen, and after then knight takes, queen takes. You might argue white has a little bit of an advantage after something like rook to e1. White is ready to play something like maybe bishop g5. And even though this bishop might have some good prospects in the game, bishop b7 or maybe bishop e6 even, this is the kind of position where white would be happy playing against the long-term structural weakness of these pawns on c7, d6, and c5. It would just allow white to have a lot of free play and the ability to exchange into better endgames. So, c5 would not be the best way to defend. Other ways to defend this pawn would be something like bishop d7 or bishop b7. Of course, queen d7 would also be possible. So between bishop d7 or bishop b7, which one of these two do you think is the better move? Well, black played bishop b7, and it's an ambitious move. The idea it would be to play c5 at some point, opening up this diagonal for the bishop to attack white's king. However, the move bishop d7 would have been a little bit more accurate, because from this square, black is still controlling f5, which is important. Because after the move played in the game, bishop to b7, Alekhine put his knight on f5. And this is a very dangerous square for the knight. It has an attacking radius all around where we assume the king will be castled. And black does castle right away in order to defend the g7 pawn. Now came the move rook e1. Not only holding on to this pawn such that this knight would be free to move now, but also introducing some ideas of maybe pushing someday, supported by the rook. After rook e8, white plays queen f3. And now comes the move c5, freeing the bishop, pointing it down the chessboard, and this looks like a very sensible move from black, trying to activate what might be his best piece now, the bishop on b7. However, white has a fantastic attack against black's king, and there are many good moves here. But Alekhine, before attacking, completes his development with bishop g5, bringing the last piece into the game. Very important to have all of his pieces activated and part of the attack before initiating anything prematurely. So now black tries to defend with this move bishop f8. The idea is not only to use the bishop to hold on to the g7 square, but introducing the rook as a defensive resource along the now half-open e-file. But here comes an incredible move. If you'd like to pause to see if you can guess what Alekhine played, now is a good time. Well, the incredible move that he played was knight to h6 check. And it is such a strong move that Black actually just resigned the game right here. He didn't even want to see the rest of the game. So the first thing to notice would be, okay, why did he resign? If king h8, we have knight takes f7, which is a fork on the king and the queen. So when the king moves, white would win the queen, and okay, that's going to be enough to win the game. But you're probably wondering, wait a second, why not just pawn takes knight? Well, after pawn takes knight, bishop takes f6 is very, very strong. It attacks the queen, but now that the g-file is open, white is threatening checkmates, and black actually has to give up the queen. If black tries to save their queen with something like queen d7, well, now just queen g3 is going to be checkmate soon enough. Black could give away their queen if they'd like, but after we take the queen, we take the bishop, and it's checkmate. And there's really no avoiding this if the pawn takes the knight. But those were the only two options, king h8 or pawn takes knight, and since both of them led to either checkmate or losing the queen, black decided to just resign. Alright, yeah, really nice game here by Alekhine. The one thing I want you guys to notice as we went through this game was how Alekhine brought all of his pieces into the game before attacking. This knight on f5 is just a beautiful resource. But in this crucial moment, bishop g5 before attacking, bringing the last piece into the game, and this was an important player in the tactics that we saw in the final position. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this game as much as I did, and yeah, see you on Monday.